Ethiopian Orthodox law, the church celebrates the feast of Saint Michael on the 12th day of each month, of which two of them are great annual feast of the saint. On Hadar 12th, which is November 21st, and Sunday 12th, which is June 19th. The feast on June 19th is dedicated to the deliverance of Bahram from the hand of the wicked rich man through the help of Saint Michael, as stated in the Ethiopian Synaxarion. Then there was a certain man who feared God, and who used to celebrate Saint Michael's feast on the 12th day of each month, and especially during the months of Hadar and Sene. A rich man in the neighborhood used to despise and ridicule this God-fearing man for celebrating Saint Michael's feast. When the God-fearing man approaches his death, he commanded his wife to keep on the celebration of Saint Michael's feast. The woman was pregnant when her husband passed away. The woman suffered terrible pain during labor, and she delivered through the help of Saint Michael. When she brought forth a child, Saint Michael came down from heaven, blessed the child, and prophesied about the future fate of the rich man. At that moment, God opened the ear of the rich man, and was heard what the angel said. Then great sorrow came upon him, and he wanted to kill the child. But God protected the child through the intercession of Saint Michael. When the child was 10 years old, his mother's money came to an end, and the rich man was found. His opportunity against the woman, and he requested a woman to administer her child at the wage of 20 dinars in gold. Then the woman gave her son to the rich man. The man rejoiced with great joy and said in his heart, "Behold, what I have desired is fulfilled for me." Then he made a wooden box which fit the size of the boy, and crammed him into the box, and threw the box into a river. However, the box floated on the surface of the river by the grace of God until it came to the quay of a certain city. A shepherd nearby saw the box and pulled it out and took it to his home. When the shepherd unlocked the box, he found a smart boy crammed in the box. He named him Brahman. Because he found him in the river, the boy became his son. Years later, the rich man wished to go and sojourn with the shepherd, and when the sun was about to set, he said unto the shepherd, "If you provide me with a place to rest until tomorrow, I will pay you the charge." The shepherd welcomed the rich man into his house, and he called the boy Bahram by his name. When the rich man heard the name, he asked the shepherd whether Bahram was his son. The shepherd replied, "Yes, I found this young man when he was a little boy in a box in the river, and I took him and reared him as my son." Upon hearing that, the rich man was very sorry in his heart, because he knew that the young man was the boy whom he had thrown into the river to kill him. The following day, with an evil plot in mind, the rich man asked his host to allow him to send Bahram with a message to his house in home city, claiming that he had forgotten something at home. He promised to pay 20 dinars in gold for the errand. The shepherd was agreed with the rich man to send to his house. Then the rich man wrote a letter to his steward saying, "When you have read this letter, kill the bearer of it, whose name is Bahram, and cast his body to a pit. Let no one know about this until I come in peace." He wrote on the letter a certain sign which they had agreed upon, in which none but the rich man and his steward knew. He sealed the letter and gave it to Bahram. He also handed him the money needed for the journey, and the young man departed. As Bahram was about to reach the house of the rich man, behold, one day the angel of God, Michael, came to him in guise of a soldier riding a horse, and he said to Bahram, "What do you have with you?" When Bahram told him about the letter, the angel asked to see it. Bahram has shown the letter in distance, being frightened, and the angel blew on the paper. The racing was written on it. Immediately the thought of the letter was changed this way: "Behold, I, the rich man, say you unto the bearer of this letter, whose name is Bahram, as soon as you have read this letter, let him marry my daughter and take over all my possessions. Do not wait until I come back, for I shall carry on my journey. Let him do what he wishes in my house, for I have given him authority over all my belongings. Here is the sign which is between you and me, O my steward." Then the angel sealed the letter and gave it back to Bahram. Bahram kept on going on his journey devotedly. When Bahram had reached at the house of the rich man, he gave the letter to his steward. When the steward read the letter and recognized the mark, and knew that it was authentic, they immediately made a great marriage feast for Brahman and the daughter of the rich man. And they married them in the church before the sanctuary of God. The couple enjoyed their wedding season for 40 days. Towards the end of the marriage feast, the rich man returned to his city. And when he heard the sound of the music, he asked, saying, "What is this sound I hear?" People told him the whole story about the letter that Brahman and his wife took control of all his possessions. When the rich man heard those words, he cried out at the top of his voice, fell down, and died. Brahman inherited all his money as God had commanded. The young man celebrated Satan Calcis on the 12th day of each month, knowing that it was he who appeared to him and changed the letter. Dear brothers and sisters, God changed the letter of death to the letter of life and vice versa. For nothing is impossible with God. God has an unconditional authority at bringing good out of bad. The things you wish might be removed from your life are often the very things that God is using to shape and change you into the character of the believer He wants you to be. He wants you to use that problem for good in your life. There's something more important than your pain. It's what you're learning from that pain. What's the last example?